The 52 Deco was my most anticipated weapon. When we saw the original data mines, I kind of freaked at the fact that it would have Curling Bomb. Curling Bomb is so much better than Seeker was in the first game. And granted, while I wasn't excited for the Stingray when I saw it at launch, the fact that Stingray has been since overbuffed, it is definitely a really good option now. And the 52 Deco's kit in general is just really good. Funny enough, this weapon actually came out the week of Genesis 5, which was a big Splatoon LAN event down in Oakland, California, and I was actually attending the event, and the 52 Deco was actually banned from the tournament. They didn't let us play it, and their reasoning was it would give advantage to the people that played 52 Gal, but I think I was the only person at the event that did. And I actually still played the vanilla 52 in the LAN event. But besides that, the 52 Deco has arrived. While I wouldn't say the vanilla 52's kit is garbage in any way, shape, or form, it's just not exactly the most ideal, where the 52 Deco's kit is more well-rounded and actually allows it to be more applicable in just about any situation. Curling Bomb is in fact probably never bad. It is so much better than Seeker ever was and probably ever could be, but I just can't not think of a bad, I can't come up with a bad spot for Curling Bomb. It is such a good movement option and is good to approach, it's good to escape. It's just amazing how good Curling Bomb is. Now of course the 52 Gal isn't exactly the most easy to use weapon. It actually punishes a lot for being overly confident. The fact that the 52 actually has a wide spread, it is not accurate in any stretch of the imagination. So while it actually has one of the fastest kill times in the game, it is actually suffering from the fact that it has, you know, that spread. It's not exactly accurate. It's not always going to land shots exactly where you're pointing at. And that kind of turned people off. That's actually why 52 Gal was actually good in the first game, mostly because it had the splash wall. In the same vein of the 96 Deco in the first game and now the 96 Deco in this game, it sort of has it had a failsafe. It had the wall it could hide behind to give it some room for error. But because the 52 Gal isn't getting a splash wall in this game, no one really wants to play it because they don't want to have that margin of error. They don't want to be punished for the weapon's inaccuracy, not so much their own inaccuracy. But I still feel that the 52 Gal is at least a very strong weapon. It is still one of the fastest killing things in the game, and actually does a pretty good job at fighting armor, surprisingly. A lot of people don't believe me when I say that, but the 52 Gal has a high shot velocity, which makes it really good for fighting against armor, and even Brellas, believe it or not. It actually fires fast enough to kill people between the Brella shots. Anyway, back on track. The 52 Deco is just good. The sub on it is basically perfect, and the Stingray is almost never bad. Until they actually finally address the special, it's almost never gonna be bad. Since it came out, this has pretty much been the only weapon I've been playing recently, aside from the other weapons that I need to get footage for these videos. My 52 Deco is already up to like 200,000 turf inked, so that should show you how much I like this weapon. It is a good weapon with a good overall kit, and it's kind of a shame that people aren't really playing it. I understand sort of why it's not being played. A lot of people don't really like the 52 Gal as a weapon itself. The splash wall was just sort of an entry assistant to it, I guess would be a best way to say it. It wasn't the best weapon. People didn't really like it that much because of how inaccurate it was, but the splash wall sort of gave it a fail safe that allowed people to play it and not really care about the inaccuracy because they had something to hide behind. When it was released, people were immediately calling it the problem with Port Mackerel, as Port Mackerel right now is heavily favored towards curling bombs, much like it was with Seekers in the first game, and then Stingray, which is basically Killer Whale of this game. So the 52 Deco is basically going to be anywhere on Port Mackerel, but I feel like there's a lot of other maps that it's really good on, and people just assume that Port is going to be the best one for it. I actually really like it on other maps like Reef and Shipyard, are really fun and good maps for it, but a lot of people are only playing it on Port Mackerel, which is a bit of a shame. So yeah, while this kit will never be as good as the vanilla 52 Gal from Splatoon 1, this is definitely the better 52 Gal for most situations. I would in fact still recommend the vanilla 52 for zones, especially maps like Skate Park where the zones are small, because I feel that Baller, while being nerfed a bit since 1.3, it still is good as a sort of panic button. Not a splashdown tier panic button anymore, but basically a good use it and then run forward and then just pop it immediately. Those that watched me play 52 Gal at Genesis 5 will probably know what exactly I'm talking about. So would I recommend the 52 Deco? Absolutely. It's a lot of fun, it's got a really good kit, and it's just an overall solid weapon. Is it easy to play? No. Chances are you're going to get screwed by the RNG a little bit, and it's going to be a turnoff for a lot of people. They don't want to have that inaccuracy. They don't want to have to deal with something where they have to struggle against the weapon to get the kills. But nevertheless, it's a fun weapon. It's got a really good kit. It's all around pretty solid. Now, I don't really want to go on too much longer because there really isn't much else I can say other than that this is probably the best kit the weapon could have gotten, aside from getting Splash Wall once again. This is about the best kit I could have asked for this weapon, and I'm glad that it just works so well together with this thing. Anyway, feel free to leave your thoughts on the 52 Deco below. I'm curious to see what everyone thinks, as this isn't exactly the easiest weapon to play, and it has sort of fallen off since Splatoon 1. So I'm interested to see if people have been playing this and what other people's thoughts on it are, and if you think that it is only good on Port Mackerel, or how you feel about it being seen as only good on Port Mackerel. So thanks everyone for watching, and I will see you all next time.